Hello, welcome to Of Darkness and Light. This is Daphne Garrido. I just finished chapter 2 of Last Rites of Empire, which is the book I'm working on about one Miss Gloria, who might be already like my favorite character I've ever written. She's insane. It's absolute max. So if anybody's read my Daphne mythology, which I cannot recommend, it has um, parallels to Batman in, in the Daphne mythology because um, it is a schizophrenic delusional person who is fully in it. But she clearly has somebody placating her who is some form of female bodied person um, who female born body. I don't know how to best say that, but I'm working it out. I'm trying to do right by English. But I just can't do assigned at birth. I don't know why. It's just too much. It's like I understand the content behind it. It's appropriate, but it's like we can figure something smarter out. We can just be chill about our insecurities and say female and male. That's my gut feeling. It's like get over it, dude. I'm a male woman. It's cool. It's hot. But I respect other people's feelings. You're just in my space here. And this is my writing journal space, and this is where I get real. Because this is when I feel most myself, is when I finish a chapter, because I love writing so much. Um, and this is sumptuously bizarre and gratuitous, and um, it's written from my subconscious, like everything else. But I have fun being um, awful in this way. This is the most transgressive thing I've ever written, and I write transgressive things all the time. Um, but it just feels cutting with the inner thoughts in italics, and um, so this starts with a sex scene that gets off to a wild start. And then it flips around backwards because it's like, yeah, it's like I'm playing with all types of energy here, and it's like a back, and it's like a full, like she's like topping somebody with a dowel, and she's being domed fully, and it kind of backs into that, and it's really weird and hot, especially because I'm playing Rinsler. Because it's just like this like ultimate boss fight fuck scene that's a mind fuck too. But it's also doing my thing where I like to call it the double back twisty guts, where I flippy flip um, line to line, or sometimes like the second half of a paragraph takes over, where all of a sudden it goes from being like gratuitously transgressive to being like genuinely heartfelt and sweet. Um, and it's just like um, it's just really gross sex, dude. And it also like there's I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this with this character, especially. I can't imagine myself not finding a way to work in schizophrenic people to all my stories. Like Echo clearly has become schizophrenic, and we have to deal with that in Time Throws Fire. Um, like she probably has been the whole time, dude. But um, this one is just max. It's just maximum. Gloria couldn't touch anymore. She was only to be his little girl when they spoke. He seemed most at home using a timbre of voice like that spoken to a child or dog when he'd take her face. Something about the way she'd convulse and moan at response spoke to enjoyment found therein. All she wanted was to make him feel good. Gloria employed the best woodcarver in Jessup to make her favorite dowel smooth enough for soothing re-entries. Having Neil over to her private cabin at the center of Creekmarsh Swallow was a heartful thing. For the tides to turn so quickly was a sham of hidden hope seen through by her boy. And so this is also like mercilessly boyifying. This is I recognize patterns in my subconscious of my writing, and it's just roasting all of my delusional thinking. And I'm just going to say it right now. I'm giving myself the grace in real life to boy everyone until someone treats me like a disabled woman properly and takes care of me. And I'm sorry if that's sexist to you, but that's the way the world works. And I'm treated subhuman, and men are treated worse when they're disabled, and women are treated best when they're disabled. And I'm treated worse than worse, and I'm disabled. And it's really terrible. And everyone's a boy until somebody treats me like a woman, because I'm a woman. And if that's assertive and frustrating to you, I hope you understand that I have executive dysfunction, and that's the way that I see it. I have a binary lens of the world, but I also recognize realities, and there is a reality to the kindness that women are treated with, especially by other women in community, and that the way their voices are heard by each other, and my voice isn't heard like that, and it's very frustrating to me. But obviously, I'm letting Gloria get it out, dude. Um, and yeah, woof, woof. I let out my own deepest, darkest, creepy sexuality. I'm into the idea of like somebody just like dom in my head, dude. That's always been something I'm into. Uh, I don't know what that itch was about. I think itches are lies, but they're like, there's just more that's true in them. I don't know. Yeah, no, it's like I guess I haven't always wanted that. But at some point, I remember I was reading a sequel to one of my favorite children's books that I want to like adapt into a film for young trans girls, called The Ancient One by uh, something something Baron. I really love that story, and it seems like the perfect story for um, like a teenage trans girl story that's also like adult enough with a little adaptation. It's kind of silly and very young adult. If you not even I wouldn't even call it young adult. It's just like almost like a children's book, but um, its sequel had this really hot mind control thing at the beginning of it, and I had never been hotter in my life. And I was just like a kid, and it was just like this person getting like totally mind wiped by some like something powerful, and I was like, oh my god, this is so hot, dude. Um, but yeah, no, it's even more appealing now that I'm a schizophrenic person with basically a blank space up in my head, and really scrambled thoughts where I'm just like, dude, somebody just tell me what the fuck to do. Um, and so yeah, making it sexual is hot because I like sex, and I'm obviously sex starved as a disabled woman, who's uh, so precious of heart. When you hold her, I'm just like, oh fuck, dude, I'm in love with you. I hope you know that. Just deal with it. Nobody deals with it because I love hard, and I fuck good, and I snuggle best. And that's just what it is. That's schizophrenic people are hot, dude. And watch Asylum. Don't watch. I don't. I didn't watch it. I watched the trailer, and it looks like he gets stabby or something. But watch the part where a schizophrenic dude's hot, and ignore the propaganda. Um, Cause yeah, schizophrenic people aren't crazy murderers, dude. You know who's murderers? Psychopaths. Um, and that's not a schizophrenic person. Schizophrenic person is a most abused person. um, who's getting more abused by the stigma and can get better with time and healing. And I've given myself time and healing by quitting my job and getting on unemployment, having no solutions. And I've gotten better and better, but I've gotten worse and worse with my executive dysfunction, which is a literal mental block towards like certain things. And even talking about it sucks. It's like I want to get back into the creativity. This is, but I need help also. So please look at my other videos. I'm not going to put up my fundraiser. Nobody's paying for anything. Nobody's helping. I know I'm being stupid with money, but the reality is I need help. And so whatever. Um, Somebody please help me, because I'm gonna burn out here and be homeless, and nobody seems to care that I need to be like taken care of, as a woman would take care of another woman who has to listen to what they have to say, and somebody who needs friends. Um, I need friends more than anything else. Because I got a beautiful home with a fire pit and a place to explore, and it's just like I cannot handle how nobody will come hang out with me just because I'm a little loopy in my head. It's cute, dude. Um, but yeah, this is what happens when people go extreme. And that's what helps is when I write stuff like this, and it's just like the meanest, farthest, grossest stuff I could possibly write, laced with things that are like apology to myself. Because it's like there's stuff in here that's true that you wouldn't believe or would just be like snuck in there for somebody to be like, okay, I see what the fuck's going on. Because they said something to me that is in this language, and that's fucked up. But it's like, yeah, I include that stuff because I need to get it out because I'm a truth person, and I feel the need to express that to people, and so I put it in my work sometimes, and then I make guesses about things. I see statistics on Substack, and so sometimes I'm like, oh shit, somebody watched that. So then I start working something in, like um, I saw somebody watch my the views have gone up a lot on a lot of these things lately. I've been getting more people to look, but um, the, the Dykes Love flop topping video, which is one of my favorites, went up like 4 or 5, and I was like, oh shit, dude, somebody's somebody's watching the Dykes Love flop topping video. Because I can tell when it's not like I can't really follow the listens on my podcast zones, but I can actually, but I don't know where they come from really. I bet I could figure it out. Um, but anyways, yeah, I know when somebody's watched my videos, and so I just like, yeah, no, I just included. It was like all he felt the need to do is at first was fuck her tits, someone's tits, anyone's tits, because I just imagine somebody who hasn't done that, but they really get enticed by that idea of watching my video, and then they're like, I need to fuck somebody's tits, dude. I want to fuck her tits, but I'm gonna fuck somebody else's tits because they're retarded, dude. I always imagine people calling me retarded, and that's why I go off about people being retarded. It's a projection, but it's also a projection based off of my whole era of people that I know is happening out there. So breaking it down in me, and being mean about it because I know it's still out there no matter what. Because there's still young people that say it too. They just say it to themselves in private. Um, I love rhyming like this in a story where it really fits, because there's just like torches were burning, heroes were learning, passions were yearning. He had me straight spurning. It's just cute. It's just cute and fun, and it adds like triple level twisty guts. Um, Cause yeah, she's straight crazy, but you're like rooting her on, and there's something real happening to it. The story, it's like the plot is there in this, which is nice because I've had trouble sometimes with my weaving of psychological short stories, especially like Inui has like no plot, and I was trying to plot, but I couldn't because it was just like an executive dysfunction masterwork where I'm like not talking about what's actually going on. Um, but this one, I'm actually able to talk about stuff, which is cool. And there's enough, but it also does the thing where it's like highly inflected, and it keeps out so many of the details. I really worked out that relax, girl. Don't think, okay? Just don't think anymore. I just think that's the hottest. I was just like, how could I write this? I kept writing that line. I didn't write it perfect the first time because I was just like, I gotta write this real hot. Like, um, I like that better. I'm doing an update. I'm doing an update for a punctuation change. Um, I'm glad I didn't do all the part titles in this one. It just makes me feel better in my brain to not do the same thing all the time. Um, which is a literal thing. That's a literal thing with my executive dysfunction and my schizophrenic brain is that I like I want to do something new all the time. So I have like my language started very basic and it's been an evolving thing where it's like my memory is huge when it comes to my English writing. And so I'm like calling back on everything I've ever written and I'm just knowing the kind of ways I've forged words together before and the way I've used certain types of language. And I'm just like bypassing it and evolving it always. And like I can't do the same things and I'm such a variation obsessionist where it's like when I include things that are doubles, I really think about it. Like if there's two of the same word, even the in the same sentence, I've really considered that because it bothers me. I like to use that for purpose. Like I like to use the variation that you can use with English language, which has so much changeability to write sentences that are completely variated with words, but then use variations to mean something, to call attention, to be like, hey, this was cool to say it this way. There's a reason there. Or this means something more profound. I want you to double back and look at it a little more. Because that's what it does to my head. And so I'm like, okay, that works for me. It'll work for other people too. So this part's like really like psychosexual battle and it's talking about a relationship that's a relationship I would totally want, which is like somebody who I've kind of like roped in and hates me but wants me, hates me and wants me, and I just love them and it's just hot. It's just a hot vibe to be like a constant Batman Joker situation where you're just like where you just can't, you're just like trying to hurt me, dude. Because yeah, that's kind of my vibe. It's just like um I haven't had somebody test me, but I swear to God, since I've become schizophrenic and fully like aware of myself, I've been like, hit me, dude. Somebody fucking just like slap the shit out of me once my teeth are fixed, because I would like it. And that's the thing is, I put this in here, and you can tell, and that's why it's fucked up. Is you can tell that I would want somebody to call me like a little girl, dude, and I don't care, whatever. Who wouldn't? I don't know. I think like I think it's hot when you do. I was trying to think of the hottest thing ever. And I thought it because people do the mommy daddy stuff and it's kind of creepy, right? But like it's kind of hot when it works. But I just thought about like I'm gonna write sometime where there's like a dommy mom who just like calls herself mom. It's just like I'm mom. It's just like that's so fucked up, but that's hot, dude. It's just like we all like the kind of like creepy sexual like we're crossing boundaries, and that's the way to do it, right? That's the way to do it is with language that's it turns you on, dude. Even if it crosses boundaries of acceptability, and that's the thing. It's like all the stuff I've done out in the world and online has created a complete lack of like propriety. Like I have no shame because I've been created by the world and this is the world shame on display. I'm not embarrassed. You should be embarrassed. That's my vibe. Because I'm a literal byproduct of executive dysfunction until somebody helps me. So it's like, if this is embarrassing to you, you should be embarrassed. Um, that's true. Um, but I'm also embarrassed too. I'm in here being embarrassed and like just like speaking straight from my subconscious. And I will watch this back and I'll be like, wow, I'm being an asshole. I don't really feel that way. And then I'll go to bed tonight and I'll be really fucking sad. And I'll be tired and alone. And I'll be like, why does nobody be my friend? And I'm being a bitch. And I'm being a bitch. And I'm like, why won't anybody be my friend? Can't anybody see through the satire of like me speaking this way? It's like I don't know. Nobody's watching who's nearby. It's like my family watches and they just get offended, and the people who I've tried to get to communicate with me aren't used to communicating with somebody who needs them to like. I don't know, dude. It's weird. People are just the Seattle freeze on top of a schizophrenic girl, on top of a trans girl, on top of somebody who needs help, on top of somebody who doesn't want to take pills, dude. Um, on top of somebody who drinks mineral water and isn't like retarded on essentia in their brain. It's just a different kind of vibe. People aren't used to it, and yeah, I'm being a bitch, and it feels kind of bad when I really think about the truth of it. And I'm trying to cut through my executive dysfunction, but that's the truth. Is I've been being a bitch because nobody's treated me like a woman, and that's what Gloria does. And nobody's treated me like a woman how I deserve to be, as I've been disabled and abused, dude. It's the abused part of my womanhood. It's like I'm an abused woman that nobody cared for. I'm a battered woman, had nowhere to go, and I got sick in my head, and I'm alone, and I've been alone for years. I've been alone for like a year and months now. It's like a year and 4 months I've been alone and not cared for as a battered woman who has lost her mind and doesn't have the ability to take care of herself. And I'm on the brink of being detransitioned now because I'm like going to run out of pills soon. And I don't know how I'm going to pay for rent exactly. And it's really sad and scary. And I'm just sitting here talking to the internet, and it's terrible. And I'm reaching out to people that I hope are listening, but then I'm probably going to scare them away by writing shit like this. And, but it's like I can't do anything but do what I do. And this is beautiful art. This is amazing art. I'm more proud of this than anything I've written, and I want to keep writing it because it's exciting. It's like the second part is magical, and it's sick as well because it's like totally showing how I want bottom surgery, but I don't want to choose to do it. I want somebody to make me to do it because I'm so scared. And it's like a total mindfuck magic sequence that's pretty, but also shows like my deepest dark. And that's what I'm always doing. I'm always showing my deepest dark, and my deepest dark is repetitive because it's trauma from being this kind of person. And having so many needs unmet, having nobody who will talk to me, and just like, yeah, but I'm making it romantic as well because that's the thing. I write stories with romance. That's what I write. All my stories with romance. And it's like, I got to work with what I got, and I got bullshit locked in my heart, a bunch of fuckers. So I just roll them together and boy them all, make them kneel, and choose the best one when it's appropriate. um, but yeah, this part's cutesy at the end, and targeted with the three together. Three, they would cross boundaries. She'd extend bridges, and all would learn of taste renewed. That's an in-joke to somebody that I don't even know will ever read, and I hope they will, but I hope they'll forgive me for it. And it's just a joke because I want to fuck their friend, and I think they probably did stuff once and probably don't want to talk about it, or one of them wanted to do something, the other one didn't, and that's just funny. It's just funny. Cause yeah, no, my schizophrenic ass wants to fuck them both, and I want to fuck a lot of people, dude. Somebody come fuck a schizophrenic girl, dude. There's nothing wrong with it. I put myself together. I'm disabled, but there's a lot of disabled people. I'm not gonna schizophrenia you. It's gonna blow you. See, this is not something that I'm even going to be mad about later. This is genuine truthfulness that I appreciate on the rewind. I appreciate my being childlike and being earnest in ways that other people aren't comfortable with. I started doing it with meditations years ago when I was a cheesy spiritual person, and it was embarrassing. And now I'm being the kind of raw honest that every single person is inside, who isn't the kind of repressed person who doesn't give head, right? And like, and it just is so joyous to me to be able to express this way in raw, honest, authentic truth, especially when it crosses boundaries for other people. But that's why my family will never talk to me, is because this is who I am now. I need cool people to help me survive because I piss everyone off. And I am a living satirist. It's like I'm a living artist, and I cannot help. My subconscious is just like fucking 360 degrees with everything I do. If I have to write something nice, I have to reverse engineer it with music, or to like do a bunch of terrible, bizarre stuff ahead of time, and then I'm like, wait, I can say something kind of half nice. I better shoot this shot right now. Um, I just need help, man. I just need help. Um, but gosh, this part of the end too on the boat is so, or the canoe. It seems like was so sweet to me. Because it's the truth too. It's like with any one of these people who I've dug before. It's like, dude, I made it. Yeah, it's like there's a part in here where it's talking about getting like locked in the prison of Neil's heart, and that's the thing too. Is there's just some people that are like, don't tempt me, dude. You don't want to get fucked up and owned for the rest of your life with my possessive heart. There's nothing I want more than to be just like owned into somebody's heart forever. So I put that in there just to stoke people, and this is also just like clearly just like trying to crack boy eggs like a motherfucker. Like if this works on you, you're probably a closeted binary trans man, dude. Yeah, it's like if you're feeling feelings, think about that. But yeah, this book is a trans boy egg shattering machine in the most bizarre way ever because it's like the most trans thing ever written, dude. And it's hot. Um, but it's also cool if you're just like a woman or a non-binary person who's okay with a trans lady just calling you boy all the time because it's hot sometimes, and you can accept that they know that that's not really true, but they're going to keep doing it because it makes them feel good. Because that's what's up too. I don't really care if it's true or not. Let me say it. It makes me feel good. Um, Especially while I'm working out my executive dysfunction. Bunch of boys. Um, but yeah, Eloquent is such a pretty name. I'm excited to see who that boy is. Um, the person they're based off in real life has the best ass I've ever seen in my entire life. I've never seen a better ass. It was embarrassing how long I stared at it. Um, yeah, I don't know. Neil's sweet, dude. Neil's a good person. It's just kind of crazy how sweet they are, on top of being kind of dommy, and like there's witchcraft involved. I don't know. This is just sick, dude. And then it's like they're coming at a castle that's shooting cannons at them. It's just like there is a she raided and burnt a camp and took away one person who she'd met knew before, who was like laying with whore men, and then like fucks the shit out of them, but then they like take her dick straight up with magic. It's literal in the story. I don't know if it's real or not. It's real to me because that metaphor is real to me in real life. That's gonna happen someday. Um, but yeah, I need somebody to like tell me it's happening and like, doll me to do it. Um, but that's the thing is they could doll me to do it, and then they they could take me to a castle and be like, "Now you'll be with Eloquent because I don't want you." But that's the whole thing is I'm just being bizarre and cute and funny and um, Shakespeare, dude. Sorry to keep being a dick about it, but that's the thing. It's like if somebody says that, like I say it, they mean it, dude. Just like open your eyes. There's so many. This is so smart, and I know there's probably still some language errors in here, but it's like almost perfect. This was 3 passes. Um, anyways, I get into kind of poetic vibes and I don't have to edit as much. Like this bottom section where I was listening to Violence and Variations, um, it just poured out. It poured out of my subconscious and it was beautiful. If you ever read Aura Asunder to the end of where I am right now on it, I think it's chapter 5 I got to. Whichever, the last one I wrote, it starts with this huge, mega dense, most layered thing about Janet being passive aggressive, racist, teaching black girls to play spades, and and also explaining the most beautiful dining room ever, and a like crisscross love interest denied with her trans Miss Underworth, right? Headmistress. But then there's also an introduction of two other characters, but then it goes to her just walking down alongside the river, and the language just started flowing. It's like that first part was engineered. It was like that part I wrote so many passes on the first part of that chapter of Aura Asunder, just like I did the whole first chapter of this. The whole first chapter of this was like 5-6 passes. I needed to really work that. But the second chapter, it just flowed better, because yeah, I was setting up so much, and now it's like I can strip it down a little bit. I don't have to set up the whole vibe. I can just dive in on some bits. It's like we know what's going on now. We got a crazy bitch who we're writing in kind of like omniscient third person, really close inside of her delusion with just like hotness all over the place. And But yeah, I get to violence and variations, and I on my second and third pass on this, I barely changed a thing because it just came out perfect, dude. Sometimes I write to music, and it just gets me flowing, and I love it, and I love it, and I don't want to change anything, even though there's little things. Um, I like intentionally took a rhyme off the rails, um, because I had lied and I was making a joke about it. I'll figure that one out real quick. Because it's like I have some unreliable narration that I leave in here, um, but I'll show you how I like. This one was really tricky. Um, okay, so Gloria could feel horizons. They were all true, every one, and it was only her choice which mattered. Gloria controlled everything. She was the manipulator of time, space, and fate. It was only those few she trusted who would come to understand. To hold space for her making of truth seemed fresh by all. She'd speak in tongues. She told no lies. It took the eyes. For all she spoke, it was no joke. Within the farce, her words came sparse. So that's like making fun of how when I'm stumbling over my words, it's because untruths are coming out of my mouth, and it's not because I'm consciously lying. I'm speaking from my subconscious through the filter of all of my understanding, and it's coming out as best I can. But sometimes I speak things which a part of me knows is untrue already, and then or is nervous about, and that will stutter my language. And so her words came sparse. It's like even if I'm yeah, it's like it should be sparsely, um, uh, or it should be a different sentence. And so it's just like, um, I really love using every variation of a word in a chapter. So like, I love putting speak and spoke next to each other, and things like I used timber and timber, right? But I do that in all my writing. And I play with duels that are allowed and different but close or spread out through a chapter. That's just a straight edge, dude. I don't even know what that's about. But there's something there. I do it through whole books. Like I will come back with a dual thing at the end of a book. It's just like I remember everything about my English. That's my favorite space. And so every time I come back to write a new chapter or something new, I'm just like, yes, English. And that's what makes me talk about me being Shakespeare, dude. It's just like it takes a special psycho to love the weirdest language. Um, and it's built for a schizophrenic brain. That motherfucker was not schizophrenic. They're not schizophrenic, dude. Um, so I figured something funny out with the nots. Um, you could say not and gaslight yourself into a complete um, subconscious repression of the thing you're trying to admit, if it, like your consciousness wants to admit to itself. So like if you're trying to say Shakespeare is schizophrenic. You could say Shakespeare is not schizophrenic, and then you will literally not remember it right because you have just gaslit yourself with such tricky language to not internalize it correctly, even though you acknowledged it consciously. Um, and so that's just a fun thing. I don't even know what to do with that, but that's hot. Um, um, Sometimes I've let my subconscious do knots and then counted them to be like, is that an odd or an even? Because my subconscious is telling me something really tricky with 5 knots, and that means that it is actually not. um, yeah. So, anyways, I like English, and that makes me feel like I should be a writer of English, and that people should accept me making up words, dude. Oh fuck! I fucked that up, dude. That makes me sad. It was supposed to be exultation. If you read this, I'm so sorry. You probably knew. Exultation. That's an update. Exhalations of exultation, dude. It's not exhalations of exhalation. I know sometimes I do weird stuff on purpose. One of my favorite weird ones on purpose in this was the butt. There was a good butt, dude. It was such a good butt. It was during the sex part, too. That's a part of why I left it. It's like, there's butts involved, dude. Oh wait, no, it's not that butt. There's a butt in the sex section that I left at the beginning of a sentence because there's butts involved. Um, Gosh, yeah, for her to have owned him, the man, Gloria had made him that baby boy. He would never let that go. He could never let her go. She was all for him. She'd never kiss another, never smell another's hair, nor swing her sword for anyone else but he. Neil was going to own the world with his slut. He'd always wanted one of those for keeps, to come own him back and force their way into his heart with the viciousness he'd cast any out found lurking in its chambers. Gloria had snuck in the back. He'd not known how long she'd been residing there. When she revealed herself, he was done for. Neil wanted to see her done for in return, and forever. He hadn't planned to see her again. Being forced to had ruined the boy's panties. She was too much to bear. He'd been spurned by the way she spoke of their lovemaking. Neil hadn't trusted her the liar at appropriate times. All he'd felt the need to do at first was fuck her tits. Someone's tits. Anyone's tits. Um, Gloria cuffed herself to the cell of his prison. Um, Anyways, that's all really crazy. And shit happens, dude. It's like executive dysfunction's a beast. Glory was gone, back, then thrown. She sank, it shrunk. Things turned, the world flipped. Their sun shone, day was night, night was still, moon was God. Neil found Will. I'm his forever. Um, this is so hot. I can't find the thing. There was a really cool thing in here. Oh, I loved it. Okay, it's gone. You'll just have to find it. It's something really hot with my language. Um, was it a butt? Anyways, hold on. We're all going to take a pause here so I can remember what this was because it's hot. Oh, that's sweet. Truth was an inward facing notion. To lie for someone like Gloria was a burden. She wouldn't do it unless explicitly demanded by an individual which deserved nothing less than a falsehood to send them spinning. Whether or not they deserved that would be a matter for later reconciliation. She'd pray each night and cry in bed, then fall asleep alone. She felt the spirit with her. Gloria knew her God well. It was some mother, her friend, the soul of her spirit's leader, a woman she'd known in every life. They would carry her to sleep. That's an expression of my schizophrenia. I can like manifest personalities, and I'm sad, and I snuggle apart a projection of myself to go to sleep most nights. It's very nice. Um, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not going to find it. I hope you all are well, and damn, that's just going to bug me. Anyways, I hope you have a good night. Um, Someone help sometime, please. Thank you.